In this video, I'm going to teach you how to sing with a soft voice. Welcome to Singgeek. Hello singers, my name is Ronja Peterson and as always I'm here to geek out on your voice. So if you're here today, it's probably because you found out that singing with a softer sound, it can actually be a little bit tricky. But fear not, because there is vocal technique involved with this and we're going to work on that together today so that you can start making this soft, velvety sound part of your skill set. So first we're going to geek out on 4 technical aspects that you need to master the skill, and then I'm going to give you an exercise to practice it. Let's go! The first thing you need to keep in mind when singing softly is your breath pressure. Even though you're singing softly, you still need to support your sound, and this can be a bit counterintuitive. I myself remember trying to sing softly before I knew how, and what I automatically did is that I only let out a tiny amount of air. And so my sound would become very spotty, so that it would be sort of this breath with no sound and then these bursts of air where I couldn't control the volume. So for example, happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you. So to have control, you need a steady vibration in your vocal folds, and therefore you need to remember to engage your breath support. Now, part of singing softly is to ease up on the breath pressure, but you still need enough to get that nice steady vibration. So you can see it's all about finding that sweet spot where everything is still working great, but your volume is lower. And that's what we're going to work on in the exercise later in this video. The second thing to keep in mind when singing softly is the placement of your resonance. And this is just as important as your breath pressure. Now, if the term resonance is a little new to you, I made a video all about it right here. When you sing softly, it's important to focus your resonant placement forward in your mouth and keep it there. Having the sound slide back is pretty common on low notes, and it makes for this dull sound as compared to that brighter, more forward placed sound. It is a more present tone, and singing your songs with this placement will also give you a more consistent tone and a more consistent volume. Now, practicing scales where your notes start with an MJ sound, like mia 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 mia, or mie 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 mie. It can help you get that placement forward when you sing softly. The third thing to keep in mind when practicing your soft voice is that high notes are usually a little harder to be soft on. So if you've experienced this, you're not alone. And the trick here is that you want to add some head voice to your mix when you get higher, because you want to thin out your vocal folds. And I find that a lot of my students have had success with practicing their soft, higher voice with singing lullabies, because the lullabies, they have this mix with the head voice and the soft voice.
Hush, little baby, don't you cry. Mama's gonna sing you a lullaby.
Lastly, guys, the fourth technical aspect of singing in a soft voice is to remember to articulate when you're singing. I find that a common mistake among singers is that they focus so much on lowering the volume that they forget to articulate the words and they start slurring the words instead. And so unless your goal is that you just want to sing as quietly as possible, you still want your audience to actually hear you and hear you clearly, and they just want that soft, velvety sound to it, right? So remember to articulate. It's just going to make it so much better. In terms of how quiet you should be when you sing, I would say it's more important that you focus on how quiet you want to be relative to the normal volume that you're singing with. I think singing softer is just such a great way to add dynamics to a song. So what you can do, for example, is that you can sing your verses quietly and softly and really let the audience lean in. And then you can sort of blow them away in the choruses when you sing louder and really create excitement that way. So rather than focusing on singing super, super quiet, try to focus on getting that nice sound that creates dynamics in your voice. Okay, now let's get to the exercise. We're going to practice keeping resonance and sufficient breath pressure as we turn down the volume of your voice to a place where you still have control and presence. We're going to start the exercise with an M sound, a ma sound, because that helps you get that resonance from the start. And if you want to make sure that you're also keeping that resonance forward, it might help you to think about the spot behind your upper front teeth that can help you keep that resonance there. Here we go. Ma, right here. I like that sound. It's very soft and subtle, but I still have control. And so once you find that sound and that presence that you like right there, you can move around a bit. Ma, 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 ma. Ma, 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 ma. And so once you have that, I recommend that you go find one of your favorite songs and that you practice singing softly with that song. And then remember those things that you want to have good forward resonance. You want to have a sufficient breath pressure. So if you feel yourself sort of stopping or having those bursts, remember to support with your air. And then you also want to articulate. Remember to articulate. And let me know what song you chose. I would like to know that. Thank you for geeking out with me on soft vocal technique today, guys. I'm going to create practice tracks, both for male singers and female singers, so that you can practice this throughout your range. And I'm going to link to them right here once they're done. But before you hit those buttons, I invite you to hit this button right here if you haven't done it yet, so that you can subscribe to Singgeek and join me next time, where we're going to continue to geek out on your voice to create the sound that you want.